that's when a team plane. Other than that, I didn't fly. We drove everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the great thing about NIL nowadays. I wish NIL was available when I played.
Well, it kind of was. It just wasn't allowed.
Well, it kind of was, but at
NIL.
the same time,
not illegal.
Not illegal.
But no, at the same time, though, Jay, you were scrutinized as a black player if your parents all of a sudden are flying.
Or flying places, got a nice car.
Yeah, you were scrutinized, so you had to be very, very careful. So therefore, my mom and brothers and sisters would have to get in a car and drive to Pullman, Washington.
There you go.
Opposed to hopping on a plane.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's kids getting their parents' private jets to go to their games. So it's a big, big difference. I just was saying the beauty of it now is that you could actually put it out in front of people in their face that this is what they can't say a damn thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, you probably shouldn't be on NIL money. Probably shouldn't be flying anyone private. You got to put that in a nice IRA. Got to put some money aside.
Yeah, but most of the dudes that's getting big NIL money, they ain't worried about that right now, man.
But also, Max, you got all these financial advisors, all these accountants coming out of nowhere trying to say, earn your trust and trust me and I'm competent.
Steal your money.
Who the hell are you?
Yeah.
I've never met you my entire life.
That's right. That's why Jay is on the radio with me right now. Trusted the wrong guy.
Max, about you want to get it right.
Trusted the wrong vehicle.
You probably should be flying private. You probably should put that money in the trust account. And this. Yeah, you probably should, but guess what? The reality of it is they ain't doing it right now.
See my new watch?
The people that need the NIL money is they need the money.
Guys, I grew up fine. And when I got my money and I was already in my mid-20s, first thing I did was get gold rims. I took gold. Did I need gold rims?
You'd like to have that money back, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I took one look at it and swapped it out. I'm like, no, what am I doing?
You know what else we'd like to have back?
Oh, this NFL MVP conversation. Listen, here is the question. So there's your friendly banter and good times and camaraderie. Having a bromance. And now it's time for sports. Can you still win in the NFL, can you still win without an MVP caliber quarterback? I know Nick Foles did it. That was the last regular human to do it. That was 2017. Right? It's been a minute, and I suppose you can if you have a real clutch player and a loaded team. Maybe you can catch fire. Eli Manning did it. I mean, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. He's an Iron Man, all that Manning, but regular season performance put him as a good but not great quarterback. But the point is, you have to have those kind of catch fire, oh my God, lightning in a bottle, can you believe it? But you really want to rely on that, Key?
But here's when you talk about Nick Foles. Nick Foles was a piece of Philadelphia winning the championship. He wasn't the main reason. Okay, he did for 4 games or whatever it was. He did what he was supposed to do based on what Doug Peterson put together. If you're talking about solely playing in the playoffs and winning the Super Bowl in the Super Bowl, you certainly could do it, Jay. No question about it. It's getting there. Can you do it with a guy getting there?
Yeah,
no,
right. Like
because once you get to the playoffs, the whole game changes. You don't need to throw for 500 yards. You don't need to throw for 7 touchdowns. That's not how you win the Super Bowl. You win the Super Bowl because you got a rock-solid defense and a nice game plan that does not require your quarterback to be Superman. Tom Brady won with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you want to give Tom Brady the praise, so be it. Give it to him. I could care less. But it wasn't because of Tom Brady that they won the Super Bowl. It was because he was efficient and that defense was lights out at a time and then they needed to be defense. I mean, they needed to be the top dogs. I mean, when you look at the Super Bowl winners, that's what it is. That's the reality of it. But we tend to think that you have to have Josh Allen to win the Super Bowl, and that is simply not true.
But Max, before you even go, so, my nerdy self last night reviewed the last 20 years. Okay? And we could talk about Tom Brady with Tampa, but, Tom Brady still made incredible plays, and I'm never going to look at Tom Brady as not an MVP-like caliber quarterback because it's Tom. Tom's the greatest of all time. So just ask. I can't put Tom in the casual person category. I can't do it.
He's Superman quarterback.
So I care with the number, Max. 20% of the time you can win with a non-MVP like quarterback. So go through the last 20 years. So names of people that don't jump off the page to me. Matthew Stafford, right?
Well, Stafford's very, very. I disagree. I think he's one of those super talented guys.
You think he's the elite of the elite?
I think in terms of, I think since he entered the league, he was like when he entered the league, I thought he was a top 5 arm talent guy. Yeah.
Okay, but listen to some of these other names. So I will put Matthew Stafford with the likes of Nick Foles.
No, I wouldn't.
Joe Flacco. Well, this is my list, not yours.
See,
wait. Hold on.
Okay, Foles.
Matthew Stafford, Nick Foles, Joe Flacco, Brad Johnson.
3.
With the exception, that's 4, Max. With the exception of those, here are the other winners of Super Bowl games: Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Big Ben, Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, Big Ben, Tom Brady, Eli Manning.
Right.
But here's
and so those other guys that I just made mentions: Joe Flacco, Nick Foles, Matthew Stafford, Brad Johnson, and if you want to throw in Tom Brady and Eli Manning one time, fine. They've had historic defenses.
that's what I just
But
said.
that's 5. But it's still making my point. It's like 20% of the time.
No, but look, check this out.
We're coming to the same conclusion. I'm just talking about it differently.
You are to a degree coming to the same conclusion. I'm talking about the performance.
I agree with you.
Not the names.
Not the names.
If you look at all the performances in those games, they all made throws when they needed to, but they didn't have to carry the team to win the Super Bowl. Nick Foles became the MVP because it was a great story in Philly.
Yep.
He caught the touchdown,
Got it.
so he becomes the
agreeing
MVP.
with
And he played great clutch
And he
ball.
played great.
Crazy. When you look at Tom Brady's Super Bowls where he just lit it up, they didn't win. They just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at his early Super Bowls, it was about Willie McGinnis. It was about Teddy Bruschi. It was about the dudes up front.
Understood.
It was about running the football.
Yep.
It was about dinking and dunking to the
Yep.
Wes Welkers of the world or the Julian Edelmans.
But
and
when
he did
lit
his
it up,
job.
But when he lit it up, it's partly because he needed to compensate for some other things, most likely, right? So when you have that rock-solid defense and you can run the ball and you can do all the things, you don't need the quarterback to drop back 50 times. Brady would do it.
But that's the whole point of the question. Do you need a superstar quarterback to win a Super Bowl? No, you don't.
So by Jay's count, there are 4 who are non-Superman type quarterback. By my count, I think Stafford is an excellent, top-notch arm talent.
Yeah, but Max, let's be honest here, because we keep it a buck, man. Like nobody was saying that Matthew Stafford was the elite of the elite before he went to the Rams.
But elite of elite is
he played on a bad team in Detroit.
But
I don't think you
people
could
were
put him in
killing
with Nick
him in
Foles
Detroit.
I don't think you could put him in with Nick. Stafford was #1 overall pick. Stafford was always a super talented guy.
Super talented,
and he got with the first time he got with a team that had a chance, he won the Super
Max,
Bowl.
I sat up here and watched you argue with Dan Orlovsky about whether Matthew Stafford was going to be an elite quarterback or not. I watched you do it.
I was never in terms of Stafford and like where he is on the spectrum and with quarterbacks. I always considered him one of the talented guys. I'm talking about. You might say he's not toward the top of the most talented, fine, but he's different from me fundamentally than Nick Foles. Nick Foles like a regular quarterback guy. Stafford, one of those real talented guys.
That's fine. Where'd you put Joe Flacco?
Big arm, but I agree with you, more like Foles.
But still talented, right?
Not like Stafford, no.
Brad Johnson, Key could talk on that one.
I think also a regular
I'm not
guy.
speaking up on my quarterback. He won
He's
the Super Bowl.
Brad Johnson belongs in the category you mentioned. But again, this is over.
Eli Manning, Max.
But the thing is y'all looking at it the wrong
talent
way.
normally.
Y'all looking at it the wrong way, man. Y'all looking at it the wrong way. Matthew Stafford, I said to Matthew Stafford in Carr, I'm like, well, that's the same thing for the Rams as far as I'm concerned. If you put Carr on the Rams with Sean McVay, do I think they still have a chance to go to the Super Bowl and win it? Absolutely, because of the coach, because of the defense, because of what they were able to do.
But everything has to be right around them. Right?
And I think everything has to be right around everybody when it comes to winning the championship.
But it hasn't happened.
And everything's right around Patrick Mahomes right now.
This hasn't happened in
Patrick
6
Mahomes
years
is one
now.
guy.
There hasn't been a regular Super Bowl winning quarterback in 6 years, and the league continues to change. The question is, of course it can be done if things are just right, but isn't it like the question really is, do you need a special quarterback nowadays? Do you need that?
To get to the Super Bowl, yes. To win the Super Bowl, no.
But it's all part of the same package.
No, it's not.
8 say ESPN, because you don't get just parachuted into the Super Bowl.
Dude.
You gotta get there.
Carson Wentz led
all right. So
Philadelphia to the damn Super Bowl, Max.
So you're still arguing you need a special guy on the roster.
To get to the Super Bowl.
All right, we're going to have to redefine
Key
this
yelling
because
at you
Key
now.
is bogging down in a detail.
Pretty much we
a
agree.
special quarterback to win a Super Bowl. In order to get to the Super Bowl, to win a Super Bowl, you need to get there. 888-SAY-ESPN, 729-3776. We want to hear from you. Keyshawn, J. Willimax, ESPN Radio.
The Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles made breaking moves as both are headed to Super Bowl 57. Breaking Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.